Yo, 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 yo. It's early, man. It's early. I'm out here on this road and I'm sleepy. But I tell you this. The question was asked. I'm Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC, by the way. But the question was asked, how much is a dog worth? How much is my bully worth? How much should I be paying for my bully? All these good questions. I think they're good questions anyway. Let me be the first one to tell you, and some people are going to hate to hear it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Some of y'all bullies not worth much more than the dog at the pound, And that's just being true. It's not trying to be insulting when you talk about worth and this and that and the other. Because worth, to me in the dog world has different things to do with. Now, I don't think there's an appropriate price scale or anything. But, it used to be valued off of quality. You would have a champion, international champion, sporting champion. All these different titles, and they would come with multiple sets of health testing, DNA testing, many things that would build up the quality of the dog and would justify puppies being most times sold for around the $5,000 to $10,000 range would be the higher prices that you would see in most of these breeds. Whereas the American bully world has just lost their fucking minds. Let's just be realistic. We're not going to sugarcoat it. You've got guys who haven't even been in the dog world any more than 3 or 4 years. You've got guys who've not been in the dog world, like I said, for any more than 3 or 4 years. In a lot of cases, they come in, they buy a couple high-priced dogs from people, and when they buy these high-priced dogs from people, the first thing that they do is they feel like that, hey, I should be selling dogs for a high price because he sells dogs for a high price. So with that being said, they turn around and they start putting their prices down. And this is how much my dog is worth. And this is how much my dog is worth. Now, during this process, there is no health testing. There is no anything. So these breeders who are very unskilled and oftentimes don't know what the fuck they're doing, they turn around and, they're breeding dogs in a fashion that's making more unhealthy dogs. Possibly making worse dogs than what they already made because they're more so shooting for names. They're more so shooting for, Donkey Kong such and such, he was advertised at $100,000. This is why I'm not saying my dog is a $100,000 dog, but look at him. He looked just like Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong is worth $100,000. So now that's the justification for him to charge you $10,000 for a puppy because his dog looks like Donkey Kong, who was worth $100,000. And then, it was, Donkey Kongette, she was worth, $150,000. And I got her blood and I got Donkey Kong. My puppy looked just like Donkey Kong. And, I'm thinking that more than likely these puppies should at least be $15,000 considering that they got Donkey Kong Ed. And and that's the stupid shit that goes on. Now, once you start asking about, the true pedigree, the lineage, the health testing and different things like that, oh man, that's the bullshit, Look, people want this type of dog. It's just a certain color that people like. Look at the elbows, and they actually advertise flaws. The elbows are stuck out some, so that's what we want. And to be truthful, I'm just being honest with y'all. When it comes to this American bully world, all that pricing shit is just nonsense. It really is. 99% of all the dogs in the American bully world at this point in time derive from the same dogs. Some are bred very, very well and can live a long time. It can be healthy, can give you a strong, solid look. You'll have them around, you'll have them around for a decade or so. You have good product overall. And then a lot of the dogs that you see that people are bragging about, they'll probably die early, just being realistic because, most of the breeders that I know that are generally pushing out, and I say most because there are some breeders who breed good dogs and charge like sort of outrageous prices. But most of the breeders that I know that are breeding good dogs don't try to price gouge the dogs. They're more interested in seeing what home the dog is going to go to, you know, if it's going to be bred, making sure that it's bred to quality dogs. They're more interested in the dog aspect, so they're not trying to hit you for $25,000 a puppy. That's most of them, you know. Most of the stuff that y'all see on the internet, you know, where they feed you a bunch of lies, like they, you know, you want your dog to have bowed elbows, or, you know, the super wrinkly faces, or, you know, all this overdone stuff. And they're picture masters, where they make the dog look so much more impressive than it actually looks in person. This is just a hustle. This is a hustle to get as much money as you can from the person and then leave them hanging. You know what I mean by leaving them hanging is a lot of these dogs, if they die on people, those breeders won't replace those dogs that died. I don't give a damn if you spent, you know, $24,000, $48,000. A lot of times they won't replace the dog. Once you spent that money, you've been God, and that's that, you know. They're not, you know, they won't tell you, hey, hold off, you know, I don't think this dog is very, very good quality at all. Or they won't tell you, I'll replace this dog. They're just gonna go and on to the next puppy, you know? And I won't get to naming them off, but trust me, even the guys you see with the banners and all that stuff, they don't stick behind quality dogs, you know? They'll be at shows, they host shows, they have trophies, they have this, they have that. Those dudes do not stand behind good dogs. It's a puppy, it's new age puppy milling, to where, you know, we've got it in our mind that all puppy mills are these places where you have a bunch of dogs and they're kept in horrible conditions, which some places are. Y'all have seen that on this page. But not all puppy mills are just mistreat their dogs. You know, some of these guys are going to put, they're going to feed the dogs good food. They're going to put as many supplements in their food as they can. They're going to have them looking like little hogs. And, you know, they're going to put out as many litters in the year as they can, charge the highest prices that they can, and once they get that money, it's pretty much over with. You know, they don't care about the dogs, they don't care about a program. It's just push them out. But they're a different type of puppy mill, because they believe in, okay, I'm going to take care of the dogs, I'm going to make it look good. You know, even if you come out to my yard, I'm going to make it look good. You know, you come out to this yard and you'll see that it's some beautiful, you know, it's some beautiful shit out here as far as what y'all looking for. It's gonna be a big heavy dog. It's gonna be, you know, the type of dog that you're looking for. But at the end of the day, when you boil it down, you know, the necessities that we need to know that this is a healthy animal will not be provided, you know. And it's funny, because you would think that if a person is making, you know, $10,000 or more off of a puppy, that it would be easy for them to start running the test on their breeding stock to know that the dogs are going to be healthy. I'm not saying that everybody has to show, but at the end of the day, these people won't even, you know, back up what they're breeding with proper testing. Now, what becomes even funnier about that situation, well, ironic about that situation is that, as I've told you, think about it. Out of all the hyped up so-called extreme dogs or exotic dogs that you've seen that go for these incredible prices, how many of them do you see around 5 years later? How many of them do you see that actually build a strong legacy, and they have, you know, a bunch of living puppies that are around, and they're continuing to build a line off of these certain dogs? Not many. Some that are building a certain line off of the dogs, if you look at who those dogs are built off of, those dogs are dead. If you check the ages of those dogs, and I'm not going to name the lines, this is for y'all to do your own homework, but if you look at the ages of the dogs that they built their program off of, the average age of these dogs dying is no more than 5 years. A lot of them are a lot less. So when you want to talk about value, like I say, that's going to be on you. And it's going to be on you depending on what your motive is and what you plan on doing with the dogs. If you plan on puppy milling like they do, and getting as many puppies out as fast as you can, and trying to, you know, sell as many puppies as fast as you can, then maybe it's going to be worth it to have Donkey Kong yeah. And I did make up that name. Don't y'all start researching Donkey Kong and point out somebody's dog. But you know, maybe it's worth it for you to have a big name dog on your paperwork so you can sell dogs as fast as you can. But if you're like most normal people and you want a dog that's going to be with your family for 10 years and you want a good healthy dog and you want a dog that you're not going to have to take to the vet all the time, the dog can go out and kick it with you and go to the park and do different things. Well, if you're going to do that, then, you know, more than likely you'll probably end up spending a lot less money because the reputable breeders, like I say, aren't price gouging. And, you know, they'll provide you with examples of how long their dogs live, health testing and different things to prove the quality that way, you know. And that really what it boils down to. Either you get caught up in the hype or you focus on making a good dog. It's just that simple. Y'all excuse me for this video dragging like it dragged. I'm tired. But that is to answer somebody's question. Hopefully the next video is better. Much love, y'all. Peace.